Hello YouTube, I'm back. It's been maybe 2 days? 2 days, yeah. Um, I haven't not been playing. When I have been playing, I've been doing it in a creative world single player to figure out the bees, their mods, how to breed them, how to try and automate the beehives, and it doesn't look like you can automate it any other way than tubes, which makes me sad. I wanted to try and use some AE or something. Um, but I'm back, and what I did in the single player kind of led me to believe that I might want to automate some of the manufacturing of some of the stuff I'm going to need, because I'm going to need a lot of apiaries and a lot of tubes and a lot of this and a lot of that, because you're going to have to go pretty big scale if you want to be actively doing it, because bees don't produce all that much honey. Honey drops are used in a lot of different things, including the handheld detectors, that the beelyzer, and then the machine-based one. You turn the drops into honey, and you pour the honey into the machine. So you need a lot of honey. So it means you need to be producing a lot of combs, and that takes a bit of time to get yourself to a level that you're able to produce a lot. And there's a bunch of other reasons other than the bees and trees that I want to do this, but I want to go ahead and make the mass production automated thingy that's involved with ME, the big multi-block auto crafter. So we're going to need a couple of different machines to make it happen, a couple of different blocks. Let's see here. We need a crafting CPU, at least one. I get myself out of cheat mode. Apparently, when you're in cheat mode in a single player and you pop on multiplayer, you're still in cheat mode. Alright, so crafting CPU. Advanced processor, iron, glowstone. Okay. I don't have any advanced processors, so let me make some of those. Need diamond. I did quite a bit of compressed plants still backed up. 20k seeds, 18k wheat. I think, looks like I didn't turn off the wheat farm, but I did turn off the tree farm. And of course, Steve should be running. Okay, so we need some silicone. I should probably make more of that, unless there's some over here. Yes, there is. Was it redstone? Yeah. Alright. Probably just go with one computer crafting CPU, because you can actually do without crafting CPUs completely, but having one should be enough to keep it running. I'm not going to make a huge crafting machine, just big enough to get it done. I can expand this guy later. So let's see, now we've got the CPU, glowstone, iron, and quartz. Got iron here, quartz, glowstone. I think it was something like this. Oh, the iron was at this. Shoot. Let's pull the recipe in. Okay. One more iron. There's a crafting CPU. There's another block. Yeah, we need heat vents. Heat vents are going to be a large part. The containment walls are going to be a large part. And then there's one other block that deals with holding the crafting recipes ME crafting CPU. Let me just do the containment walls. Let's see. I'm gonna make a probably like 32 of these guys. Will be fine. So we need some gold, some more iron, and what else was there? Quartz. Okay. Get a little bit more quartz. Alright, let's put the recipe in. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll just build... Oh, I only does 16... Oh, I ran out of gold. Okay, so let me go ahead and oh my god. Let's see. Sorry for the tower. Just exploring. Nathan. Okay. It's a big machine. I'd like to actually kind of put it in a wall, but I don't have room to put it in a wall. If I put it down here, it's probably going to be in the way of something. I think I can put it like right here. I'm just going to make a 3x3. Alright. There we go. No, 3x4. This is... There we go. Okay, that'll give me room for 2 upgrades. I'm gonna need, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 vents. And then the crafting CPU. Crafting CPU I have. That's weird. I swear I put it down. There we go. So that's the crafting CPU, and then the other one will just go below it. The one that holds the recipes. Once I figure out what the heck that one was. Alright, so heat vent. Okay, we need some iron bars for this. I need 10. So I need 40 bars. There we go. Actually, this goes up here. Some ME cable and some iron. Okay, so here are heat vents. This vents the heat, apparently. That's what they say. I'll leave that little slot there open. Close the bottom. And close the top. Now all we need is that last block, and then we can close this up. Which I have to remember what the heck it's called. Alright, so controller no, pattern provider. I think that's it. Wow, there's a lot in this. Okay, so let's make a pair of matrix basic oh, wait. We need advanced, 2 basic, 3 basic. Okay, so we need 3 basics. Okay, what else we got in there? Crafting table, that's easy enough to do. Let's see, what else? Iron. We're going to have to make this storage cell. It's going to be a bit more, what, redstone maybe? Let's make the storage cell. Advanced processor sits by itself. The conversion matrix, let's make those. Alright, and I think we're done. Just put some iron on the outside corners. Put our matrix in. Advanced processor, storage cell, and crafting table. Alright. Yep. Should open up like an inventory, because basically all it does is store recipes. Okay, I'll put this in there, and as soon as I plop this down, it should shift into a vent. That's some vents there, not a wall. There we go. Alright, so that's I mean, you really don't want to make it, you could potentially make it 1 block smaller. If you don't go with a crafting CPU, you could just do a the recipe storage unit block thingy, mabob. This thing here, the pattern provider. You could just do a single pattern provider, and then the whole thing would be 1 block lower. But that's fine. It's as big as I need it to be. Alright, so let me get in there and... Oh, left my ME cable upstairs. Not in there. Okay, and all you have to do is hook this to an ME cable, just like almost any of the other devices. Like that, and you're done. Let me get some stone to close it back up. But you can make this machine as big as you want. It doesn't have to be this small. I've never really made a huge machine, just because I always find it's easier just to build it as you need it and then make it bigger And I usually don't end up making it bigger. I usually just wait a little bit longer for the recipes to be finished. Okay, so now that that's done, I want to have a way of getting there and getting back. I haven't really found the location yet, but I need a way of getting there and getting back. So this is what I have set up now. This is going to be receiving 512 to a teleporter. And this is the teleporter here. So we need 2 teleporters, one on the other side. We need everything you see here, including I think some extra frequency transmitters that you have to plop inside the teleporters just to link them together. It's the advanced circuit. Alright, I'm going to start with a couple of recipes, I think. Because some of these are going to be really heavily involved with Greg Tech. So, it's an ME Pattern Encoder, I think. Yeah, this guy right here. So let me make the Pattern Encoder. Crafting table and another conversion matrix. We need a basic processor. Oh, harvesting some more wheat. Sweet. And gold. I might do quite a few patterns. Even some of them, like the basic processors, I could have them do. What this guy will do, what this multi-block machine will do, is as I create patterns, it can pull items out of my ME network, craft them, and then I can also have it automatically do things like cook my processors, which would be really cool. So crafting the basic uncooked processor and then telling it to cook it is what I ended up doing. Processor. There's the basic. So we're doing a conversion matrix. That's quartz, iron, and I think redstone. Okay. Yeah, so I could have just told it to make this for me, and it would be like, bam, made. Okay, we need a crafting table. It's some kind of thing like this. There we go. Alright, so unlike most of your applied energistics, you don't have to have this guy hooked up to your ME network. So I need to start making the patterns, the blank patterns. So this is a blank pattern, really basic. And let me say I need some glass, because I think I've got some glowstone, yeah. Oh, I had glass. The iron is what I need. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay, and quartz. So I'm just going to make one right now because I just want to show you how this is all made. I will quickly have it craft more for us. Okay. So we need this, this. When you're gonna tell it, when you're gonna create a recipe, you only really need one of everything. Because then you come over here, you say boom boom like that, and quartz in the center, and our glowstone like that, and then glass like that. So you really only need one of everything. And now it says, okay, well this is something I can craft. And it says, okay, well this crafts a blank ME. Then you put a blank ME over on the right. And what you're going to do is when you press encode, it's going to code into the blank ME how to make a blank ME pattern. So now what you do with this guy is you go over to your big assembler here, and you plug that pattern in. And that's really all you do. And from this point on, you can come into your terminal, and if you flip this to no, you don't flip this part. You flip this part. View stored items, view craftable items, and you see it says craft here. So if I tell it craft me, I'll start out with 32. 32, begin. Now, if I flip this over to stored items, I think it needs glass. There's another block I'm going to be creating as well that will tell me if something's missing. It'll tell me exactly what's missing. So almost 32, almost 32. 31. So we're short a little bit more glass. So I can take some glass out of here and there. So now we have 32 blank patterns. And all we did is we told it to make the patterns for us, and now we have the patterns. And it's already ready to craft more. All I need to do is ensure there's enough glass and materials in there. What I want to make now is the machine that will tell me how the crafting is going, if something is missing or something is waiting to be made in order for the crafting to complete. It's not a crafting terminal, crafting monitor. That's what I'm looking for. Alright, so this is just going to need a basic processor. So let's actually do a basic processor as well. Starting at 5 minutes. Man, I am just really unlucky with these restarts. I swear it's like every 2 hours maybe or something like that. Alright, processor. Oh yeah, I know how to make a processor. What am I doing? Quartz knife. Okay, so one key thing when you're making these recipes, if you're going to make a recipe that involves a tool that's got a damage modifier to it, you want to use a fresh, tool when you actually create the recipe. So let's say we quartz, or then we redstone, or we need gold. Alright, so do I have the patterns I made? Yes, I do. Alright, so we're going to make another pattern. So we're going to put a blank pattern over here, and we're going to put a fresh quartz knife up here. Let's see, it was redstone, gold, and silicone. Okay, so we're going to tell it, encode a basic processor assembly for me. Okay, do that, thanks, sweet. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put that down here. So now it knows how to make a basic processor assembly. If I hold down Shift, I could see this is a basic processor assembly that this pattern is set up to create. So now I could tell it to create one basic. See, there's no basic processor assemblies in there right now, so I could just tell it to make me one, and it'll look for a quartz knife. It could be any quartz knife. I'm just going to use this really old one. Put that in there, and it should have a basic already crafted. Still no. Oh, there's no silicone in there. Okay. And what else might it be missing? Let's put a little bit of all of this in there. Why is it not begin? There we go. Alright. Not sure why it's kind of stuttered on that, but alright, I'm going to cook this one, and I'm just going to tell it to make another one. Because this one I'm going to need for the recipe. The encoded pattern that we're going to make next. So, if I put this here, this is the basic uncooked version. You see it doesn't automatically give me something over here that it translates into. Let me put my blank up here. So what I could do is I could manually put a basic over there. So it'll tell you the basic processor assembly can turn into the basic processor, and I encode it to do that. So now what I can do, any device on the ME network that I have I think I need to put an interface on a machine, because I can't just put this in there, can I? No, I can't. Alright, so gonna wanna take this. See, I know that's being used, that's being used, that's being used. I'm not using the back. I'll just use the top. Okay. No, wait, no, I've got an enemy interface over here. But that's the export side. Let me see if I can do it. I'll put this over here. Okay, so in order to get it to auto-craft something, to get a machine to auto-craft something using our assembly and our whole ME network, to get it to craft something, you put a recipe, which is this guy right here, into a processing section of an ME interface. What it should do is it should tell the machine, it should push everything into the machine for it to be crafted. And we'll just see if that actually happens. I'm not sure if it's going to happen with that machine, just because of the way we have it hooked up. Let's see. Basic. So I'm going to put the basic assembly in there, and I'm going to tell it to craft me a processor. Server's restarting. Okay, we're back. Okay, I don't think... No, it didn't craft as basic, it's still sitting there. So we probably going to need to make another one of these interfaces to put it on the top, because we're trying to shove it in. Well, I could just quickly, let me just quickly switch it to blue. Tell it to craft it one more time. Again. Oop, we're running. It's doing something, right? It's crafting our processor. Okay. So there's our second basic processor. So yeah, let me get the crafting monitor going first, so you can see exactly what's going on. Because it's hard to describe what's going on. It's easier just to show someone using the craft monitor. So let's go over here. There's an ME. There's a basic. There's some other stuff. Glass. Oh, we need more glass. Let's take some sand. Put some sand in there. Get some glass real quick. Okay, now that we have a monitor, we can see what the heck is going on with our stuff. I really don't want to block the glass, but I kind of have to. I could just put it in this corner here. Okay, so something's totally is currently being crafted then we will see. I need to pick this up. All right. We'll see it in the process of being crafted. Assuming it doesn't craft at the blink of an eye, because there's no machine that needs to process anything. Let me make a couple more basics. You might be able to catch it processing it, because I need to make a couple of interfaces. I'll make 10. Yeah, it was just that quick. Alright. Okay. So I'm going to make a couple of interfaces real quick, which requires a conversion matrix. Let me do a recipe for the conversion matrix while we're doing this. We need some iron. Alright, so we do another pattern real quick of the conversion matrix. Basic. Redstone. Iron. Encode. Wait. Okay, that shows up right because that's not something that can be crafted without a machine. It's not a proper crafting recipe. But this one should be fine. Yep. Okay. Alright. And I'm going to do the same for this. I'm going to tell it to make a conversion matrix real quick. Just one. And then we'll make another recipe for this. Let's see, iron, glass. I don't have any glass in my inventory. Maybe cable's still in here. Some glass. ME cable. Iron. And our conversion matrix. Code. We'll put that down there in a minute. I'll put it down there now. That's not it. There we go. So now I'll be able to quickly tell it to make me some ME interfaces. And we'll see that happen in a minute as soon as I put this guy on top. Like that. He's set as an input. Let me get rid of all this stuff that's running through the machine right now. So the machine is free. Actually, no. Let me put some sand in here so you could see it waiting for the sand to clear. So I'll tell it now to make some interfaces. So to make 2 interfaces, or 3. Okay. Now the crafting recipe, it says, oh wait, we need ME cable. So there's no ME cable in there right this second. Let me put 3 ME cable in. And this got jammed somehow. So if I shift left click, I think, it will go ahead and clear it. So tell it to make just 2. And it still says there's no ME cable. Oh, I didn't put it in the machine. Okay, so there should be some interfaces in there now. Alright, is there some basics in there right now that's... Yeah, let me get the basics out real quick. I'll tell it to do one more interface. And you'll actually see it craft everything that's involved So it's got to craft the conversion matrix first, which it's cooking the processor now. Here's the processor it needs to cook. Oh, it can't cook the processor right now. I need to put this recipe in the interface. And that's going to tell it to make the basic processor from the assembly. Okay, so I have to get rid of this because it's jammed because there's no, it doesn't see a way at that time to make it. Okay, now it's just kind of waiting for the furnace to be clear. So let's clear that out. Now it's cooking the processor. And as soon as the processor is done, boom, it kind of automatically, quickly really finishes making it because the rest of it's just crafting. That's how fast the crafting machine is. It's like at the blink of an eye. The only time it's ever going to be in the crafting monitor is if you got tons of them you're trying to make, like over 64, or if you have to, if the recipe requires it to be processed by a machine like the furnace, or if you've run out of material. Just like it said, I need an ME cable in there. So I can even have it make ME cable because the material for the ME cable is already in here. All I need is, I can also tell it to make silicone too. I'll show it how to make silicone, and I'll show it how to make ME cable. So if it's ever missing silicone for the basic processor or the advanced processor, it'll make the silicone. And if it ever needs, so we need glass, and we need dust, quartz dust. All right, so we come over here, some quartz dust and some glass. That'll make the quartz fiber. I'll encode that. I'll just quickly make some. Alright, now I can tell it how to make the jacketed version. I'll just do it this way so it only makes one at a time. Okay, now we've got two recipes we could be putting in the machine down there. So now it'll know how to make the ME cable because it'll know how to make the quartz fiber. So if I ever require it to do an interface, to make me an interface, it will go ahead and make the quartz fiber, and it'll make the ME cable, it'll make the basic processor, it'll make the conversion matrix, and it'll get done without worrying about what's in here, what's inside the terminal. Wait, I need to tell it how to make the silicone. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much how this whole machine works. The crafting machine, how to auto craft with the setup here. So this recipe requires you to use your power furnace. So you find an interface hooked up to your power furnace, put it in there, and now it'll know if it puts quartz dust inside this machine, it'll get back the silicone, which is required in the recipe. So if I pulled out all the silicone, I pulled out all of the ME cable. Yeah, there's no ME cable in there now. There's no basic processor, there's no assembly. Now if I tell it to make an ME interface, let me get the ME interface that's in there out now. Tell it to make two, then this is all that it's trying to make right now. It's probably already crafted the cable. It crafted the silicone. It's going to go ahead and craft it. There we go. And then it's making another silicone. And then it'll make the processor, and then it'll make the conversion matrix, and then that'll make the interface. So it ran all of that, all those materials, the silicone, it made the silicone, and it made the ME cable, it made, you know, the processor, it made everything on the fly as it was needed, and it only used the material it needed to make the cables and make the ME interface. It didn't overproduce anything because it just produced what was required, what was missing. But now I can also tell it just to make me ME cables. You know, if I run low on ME cables, I can make more. I can make more patterns, and then you can continue to add more blank patterns to your interfaces to have your interfaces use more machine, or your ME network able to craft more things. For instance, I can have it craft glass by cooking sand, but then I can also tell it, if you're out of sand, put cobblestone in a macerator or a pulverizer, and it'll pulverize the sand. I think it's a way to also tell it to keep a certain amount of sand in the network using a level emitter, and that way you always have sand. You don't have to go through the extra step, but it's there. It's an option. So yeah, that's how cool the ME crafting is using our assembly chamber and these ME interfaces that I've been using. Because at this point, I really haven't been using them to their max potential, and there's even more potentials you can have with the interface. For instance, if I want something to be available at a certain location, like I want to have a filter, and I want a filter to pull out cobblestone and stick it inside of a pulverizer, then I could tell it to have cobblestone sitting in the inside the interface, and it'll always keep cobblestone in the interface. I can continue to pull out cobblestone from this, and it'll keep replacing it. And I could tell it how much I want sitting in there just by saying, okay, now I want 5 to be in here, and it'll keep 5 there. And I could tell it, oh, okay, now I want 19 to be sitting in there, and it'll keep 19 sitting in there. At this point, I've only ever used it to import things, acting as an ME import that tubes and pipes can go into. But the interface is probably the most, compared to the ME import and export, it's a lot more configurable. So now we can make, so we've got that. So we can really now auto-craft a lot of different things. One of the things I want to auto-craft are the apiaries, because I know I'm going to need a lot of them. And I don't want to have to come in here to craft them individually. So we need wood just in a circle inside of a carpenter. We have our carpenter. Yeah, it's just wood in a circle. Okay. So let's get this off the top. I'll place this down somewhere else. Here's fine, I guess. Get rid of the coal. So now I don't feel so bad putting like crafted items inside the terminal, because the terminal will use it for other things. But I'll just keep stuff that's specific. Alright, so let me get some wood. If I put wood around in a circle. Oh yeah, that's right, this is left click. It looks like it's just wood. Makes an impregnated casing. Oh, I need seed oil. I don't have seed oil. Okay, so I need to make seed oil to make the apiaries happen. That's not a big deal. I just need about a squeezer. I don't have a squeezer right now, so let's make a squeezer. So we need a sturdy casing. Okay, I think we need some tin. It's either tin or silver. Retaining glass. Okay, so there's our squeezer, and let's see here. I'd like to also automate. I'd like to automate both of these machines, but this guy needs water. He's a little bit special. And then the squeezer outputs a liquid that's going to need a tank. Let me pick this guy up, because I don't want him to have water in him right now. And some iron. I'll just plug that there. Stick a seed in there, so it'll send out seeds. Right? No? Move whole stacks, always active. It's an export, so... No, it's not working. Maybe it's on the wrong side. If it's the top, I'm kind of screwed. The bottom and top are really used right now, so... Maybe if I pick you up and I put you in front. Oh, this is so bad. I should probably... I'll move this later. Because I'm not liking the way it's kind of configuring itself. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can import into it. I can import stuff into the fermenter, and that's part of the same mod. Oh, now I know why it's not working. Oh my gosh. Okay. There's no seeds in the other ME network, and I'm trying to pull it out of that ME network. Alright. How am I going to do this then? Man. Alright, I'll have to move this downstairs, the whole setup, really. I'll make another... carpenter. And set up the squeezer and a carpenter downstairs somewhere. I'll have to get a pipette to get the seed oil out. But I made some impregnated frames. That's wonderful. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to try and automate this setup, and I'll just come back when I figured it out. Thanks for watching an episode of my Feed the Beast Ultimate video series. If you had any questions, comments, or ideas about what went on in the video, then please leave me some feedback in the comment section below. Also, if the video was helpful, useful, or entertaining to you, then please like the video. If you did find this episode entertaining, then feel free to visit my YouTube channel and find the Feed the Beast Ultimate playlist to watch other videos. And subscribe while you're there so you know when the next video is available. See you next time.